Over halfway through our 36-hour game, nerves are being tested as some of the best poker players in the world get out their readies, put up their cash, and shatter like glass. Who will cower like a mouse, and who will roar like a lion in the poker den? It started so well for Sammy NE2. He took the game by storm, notching up over 40,000 profit early on.
No respect to all, Jen, you see that? It's disgusting.
But the last 10 hours haven't been kind to him. He's now 66,000 in the red. Phil Laak still at the table and making money.
That's how we do it in LA, that's how we do it in London.
Neil, you're sick! You're sick, I love it!
Neil Channing's the only player who's been in since the start, but he's 20,000 down. Two new players in the game have already made some waves. Richard Wheatley's the second biggest winner of the night, over 47,000 in profit. And Welshman Roberto Romanello is in front, 2K.
I like it, I like it.
Their notes have been changed for chips. The green chips are worth $25, the blue $50, and the red chips have a $100 value. The black chips are worth $500, and getting into the big money, yellow chips worth $1,000, and the orange $5,000 each. 20 hours in, back to the game, head down. Is it time for the Lord's Prayer for any of these poker players? Lord, let me get even just this once.
We were like,
That's the kind of hand you do it with. That is an ace cracker.
300. Cool.
I'm so tired,
Not
man.
me, yeah.
My under the gun.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Wow.
You've been up that long, huh?
2,500.
and the 2-7 raises.
Pass.
He's made it like 4,500.
Just give me a card to get
Straight away.
The
Just give me a
Wolf,
card to
I
get
know, is a very, will like this hand a lot.
Pass.
I thought I had it with this. I think we should have done it suited, to be honest. This 7-2.
You got a hand right?
Yeah, but that was the worst hand.
I can't see Phil calling this.
Like suited or unsuited, like one or the other, you know.
Definitely a possibility.
Fine.
No, you must have a hand. You've been playing quite tight, actually. You're playing all these hands, but you don't really put many.
This is the first big clash of the Titans.
I seem to remember this Jack 10 of hearts was the same hand. He clashed with Tony G. Wow.
Absolutely right.
And the only difference from this flop to the one last year was the fact that he came Jack.
Came Jack and 2 hearts.
Jack and 2 hearts, yeah. And he check raised the Wolf's bet in this, I think. Oh. No.
4,400.
Yes.
Now, Channing's played this tricky, checking the flop, which looks like 2 8s, 2 9s, 2 10s. You know, it looks like that. I can't see the Wolf folding this. Also, maybe ace, king of spades. He's picked up spades, or I can't see the Wolf folding this bet. He's thinking, if you've got the overpay, you've got to bet the flop here. You're betting here with a draw.
Did I give you that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh no!
Is that right? Is that what you want? I take 500. I thought I took a...
Have it back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Channing's about to get even in a hurry
Channing's
here.
praying, I would imagine, not to see a spade.
I
And
got
there
distracted.
it is.
Did you count before the end?
But
I thought I gave you
he doesn't know whether he likes it,
sitting there.
No, what you did, you
because
gave me that.
he now,
Like
he's
that.
going to bet though. He's never checking trips here.
Yeah.
He's probably, I mean,
Okay.
it's a tricky one. I mean, what do you want to get called by?
9.
Yeah, it's like, I have to bet here, but
9,000.
I hate the spades. I mean, the Wolf's never calling this now.
No, he has to pull off quite a big move to get it off of him.
Is this all for the 7 deuce?
It's just like it hangs over the game, doesn't it? Just
It does.
all the time. It's so brutal.
Imagine he flipped like it.
Channing set up all this action by the check on the flop.
Yeah.
See, Phil, watch now. The Jedi Master at work. Take a look. The way he's analysing the movements, the breath, the hairs. Now he's helping him analyse his own hand without him realising it.
You know what Phil's thinking right now?
What?
It's a very tough spot, but I can't see him calling this.
Phil's bracelet's coming.
It is.
It's coming.
Well, Johnny Chan has it.
I mean, you really should have me beat here, right?
Well, it looks like he's talking himself into it.
He's really
I wouldn't do
curious.
this.
He is. He's a very
Doesn't want to
curious
get
player.
bluffed out.
He's a very curious player.
7 deuce beat in case Roland has it.
Okay.
I think he's. Is he calling this?
You win.
Nah. Good fold.
Wow, that was a good fold.
Pass.
That was a good fold.
It was a good fold, but
He was just so. He just felt like he was going to get looked up there, didn't you?
please?
I don't know. It was a very, very tough. It was.
You had 7 deuce Roland?
I just thought it was the fact it had turn and river spades. I mean, I think if Channing bet the flop and checked the turn, he might have got a bet on the river.
Well, not even that good.
It looks like
was a pass.
Sammy is calling it a day.
Gentlemen, he's getting his hand.
No, he's just sitting over in the corner. Just wishful thinking. You just want to get in the game.
Nah, I mean,
I don't care if you're stuck. I mean, this is not a game to quit.
That's what I like to hear.
That's a kind of game.
Okay, cool. If he calls blind and no one else raises, I think I might be blind too. How about that? Just go
on the graphics a chance to see your cards. Lads,
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Okay, I'm not going to look though.
Thank you.
I'll pull him in.
Pass.
I'm not going to look. I swear I'm playing it blind.
He's calling
I got you.
they call him blind.
And now let me take
So sick.
You may as
of
well
that
play
blind.
blind.
Did I have that place?
Well, the great thing will be if Sammy's got 7 deuce here. I mean, the guys like Laak and Channing, they just love this 7 deuce thing because there's no way they're ever going to win the pot with 7 deuce. But they know that if somebody else picks up 7 deuce, like Sammy George,
4,100.
he's gonna lose about 12,000 trying to chase the one.
He didn't have a jack 10 or better. That's why
I think Roland's raised with the ace 3 of diamonds and Phil's re-raised with king queen.
Alright, fuck it, I'm all in.
And Sammy has now decided to make a play with jack 8 off suits.
I can just tell you
No.
that straight up.
So I think this might be
I would like
Sammy's
to say
last
I'd like to
hand.
go halves with you, but actually I wouldn't.
Nice hand, kid.
How much is it?
19,500. 19 and a half.
Sammy, you're getting the show on the road.
You know, son.
Can you get 4,100 from both of us?
Yeah.
I mean, overall, this is a pretty good spot that Sammy's in,
Well,
even if he gets
Yeah, of
called.
course. He's only a 6 to 4 dog.
I mean, this is a pretty darn good spot.
Like a little kid.
I had a fucking top.
It's like there's a million in there already. I might just call some six.
Right now there's 6.
I kind of fancy Sammy to win this pot if Phil
I know
calls.
I'm deep.
10,975.
So, roughly 11 grand.
10,975.
Which means if I put in yellow chips of 11, I get 1 green back, right? That's not bad. It's 11 for 1.
They get a lot more than that back. You're guaranteed a green.
Yeah, if I put in 11 yellows to get 1 green, right?
You don't get a green, you get a red one though.
Is that right? It's 99, 70. What is it?
$10,975.
Yeah, so I get 1 green chip.
I guess he's
Cool.
That's not so bad.
4 to 6.
Turn your cards up.
I have to turn them up?
Yeah,
I
make it turn up.
Phil is
Oh, I like
expecting
that
to
one.
be up against a dominated hand.
Oh my God.
I had the best hand.
Sammy, you are so good.
Sammy's been in worse spots before.
Sorry, guys.
You're really
If I double up, we stay.
Take all that time with this.
Sammy's like,
I thought you was
double up I stay,
Jack, Queen.
otherwise I'm gone.
I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could reach that deep.
There's 27,000
Doing it
in
with
there.
any ace. He's doing it with any small. There's a whole load of hands.
Nah, just
He's gonna
a
hit
jack
anyway.
or an 8 or some runner on a straight.
You want some Sklansky dollars at
Nice
least?
flop for
Sklansky
Roland
dollars.
the Wolf.
No,
Much better than those in the super.
like a 9, that's not a good
no,
card.
jack
He's
eight.
just drawing to an 8.
I can't take it.
3 8s.
All makes him bother.
Not the jacket
3 jacks, yeah.
Dead now for him?
Yeah,
He needs an 8.
I need an 8 and only an
Yeah.
8.
Oh, he can't even hit a jack.
Or no. King, queen, high take.
Nice hand.
Aces and all.
Aces up.
Flush, punch,
He made it 1,000. I thought I had the best hand. I was like, oh,
Guys, I'm off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take it, boys. I'm knackered.
He gave it a hell of a
did give you
run
a
here,
spin.
Sammy
He
George.
looks-
He's good for TV.
He's great for TV and he'll be back for sure. I mean, I hope he comes back later on.
Yeah,
I actually think he might be back in a few hours.
Thursday.
Thursday I'm playing, yeah.
Alright, we'll try and get on my table.
Yeah.
How am I going to
Well,
get on the table?
I don't know if he will
So
be
you can
back.
knock me out then? That's a bit nasty.
All right, Sammy.
That might be your seat, Andrew.
It might be. I think there are a few others waiting.
Oh, no, you had a pair, not
He's winning every street.
He might be leaving this game, but he's going to be a hard man to forget.
I was up in the beginning, you know, carried on, but I started to get very, very tired. And that was, you know, that was the problem.
Two new players in. The kid Andrew Feldman's back after a stint in the commentary box, bringing back $31,400. An American, Joshua Ladines, comes to the den with $30,000, hoping to take a profit back across the pond.
I have such a problem.
I don't know where you're going to see this anywhere else. 20 hours these fellas have been playing. What do you think of the texture of this game right now?
100.
It's great. I mean, it's so much different than the first lineup we had. I'm kind of waiting for Roberto to warm up.
Now, you do know you heard that they have the 7 deuce rule in effect now.
Yeah.
And basically, if you win a pot with 7 deuce, right, you get paid 200 per man.
325.
If you show it.
You guys know about the straddle in the 7 deuce game, right? Everybody's fully informed. What's this? 7 deuce game, 7 deuce offsuit only.
Offsuit only.
If you win a pot with 7 deuce offsuit, every man has to give you $200.
Does it have to be offsuit?
Has to be offsuit. Offsuit only.
Doesn't have to be over.
You know, this is the second time Channing's picked up the ace-queen when Romanello's raised. And he's obviously got Roberto in a very tight range here.
Yeah.
Check.
Roberto has to bet.
Yeah, well,
you have to bet, Roberto.
He's got involved for one reason and one reason alone, and now you've got to see it through.
No, I don't think it's been one.
Come on, Roberto.
I think we've had anybody
Pull the trigger, my man.
Without at least 2,000 going in there.
Well, it's been pretty quiet, so this would be nice if this is a good way to start off this new session.
Channing is giving him a little bit of a stare. I feel a bit bad for Roberto. You didn't think he could get this one through.
What if Roberto can find another bullet?
Don't go broke in the first 10 minutes. That's what you want.
3,000.
Yeah, go on, Roberto. Get it through, baby.
The spirit of Sammy is still with us.
You know, this is the ultimate problem with the 7 deuce game, is that in trying to win that $1,000, you're easily liable to do at least 6 or 7.
Oh.
Or 10.
He's done it.
Yeah, show it, baby.
Oh,
Give me the money.
What a silly game.
And he almost wanted to call as well. He was like,
200 off everybody.
As you say, it's such a negative EV game to play.
Can I trust this guy straight, legit?
It's going to be Channing's button here. Everybody looking around now. If you have no chips with George gone, where are you going to get them?
Of course, this kid wins.
I'll tell you where you're going to get them. You're going to gamble live 200 from Andrew Feldman. That's a pretty tilty move there. I mean, you have to either be a big winner,
102.
That was so
or you have to be trying to get even hard.
200.
And this is not the easiest game, Matt, to get even in. Not
There's
right
like 15 of
now.
us. Huge thing was after Sorrell came in second in the PLO thing, and one of Antonio's friends from England
Laak
comes
on
by,
top
and
of
the
chips
guy
and Wheatley's
last
got
time I had
a
dinner with
bunch.
you guys did.
Still enough.
Look at the game where 2.5% of the time one guy loses 26 grand, and the 97.5% of the time you just have fun sweating it and nothing happens. But he just thought
This
it was
is
a
hammer
coin
down
tossing
time
thing
for
for 26 grand.
25,
And I could see
50.
Antonio
Seat
burbling,
one is
and
the
he
place
was
to
like,
be.
you know,
Yeah, it is.
but
I could see him revisiting that moment. He wanted a chance to get unstuck, and it's like, 3-card poker, 26 grand right now. You up
Sort
for
of
it?
decision
And
does
I
Channing have
thought
right
he was
now.
only
He is on the
I
button.
say yes. He says, yes, I whipped.
Well, we've seen him call with so many weaker aces. He's been throwing chips in on ace 3 and ace 5.
Whatever. 3 cards.
By that
Ace,
logic, you have to
spades
see
for
him wanting to stick around for the flop here.
5 of hearts, 4 spades. Ugh. Blank, down.
I feel like there's a bit of personal stuff here. I mean, most of Wheatley's profit, a good chunk of it has come from Channing.
I've been surprised by some of Neil's
I just said,
calls.
Anthony, you want to do 3-card poker for 26 grand? Like, you're always going to
I
get a
mean,
winner.
in his defense, he's told me he's only had 11 hours
so
sleep
this
in
is
the
like,
last
just
4
to
days,
give a rush
and he
to
has
this guy,
been playing
you
for
know,
the last
you
24.
own it,
You earn these bets, don't you?
Well,
I've never heard a loss.
You can't blame us for that. He's an adult. He knew what was going to happen.
Is he just going to shift here?
2 queens. That was brutal. That was. He was so angry.
That's around 4,000, I think.
Oh man, he was. I got 10.
Yeah, I mean the thing I like about Wheatley's play is that
because
every player knows if they want to get involved with him, it's going to be a tough pot. It's going to be lots of chips, lots of decisions, lots of action.
It's in my camera. It's going to get to the computer.
It's not really in Neil's nature to play a big pot unless he wants to. I mean, a lot of guys would just kind of make a panic all in here. But
Yeah.
40,000 as it would be.
Yeah, as you say, it's totally not his style. A lot of other players that we've seen would just be going, you know, making big moves
Only
with chips.
because it's
Here.
you, Richard. I'll probably fold to anybody else.
Cool.
Oh God, I don't even know what I want on the
Do you
turn.
for like skee ball tickets at the end, or is this actual money?
Maybe a
This is money,
deuce.
right? Is that? This is real money, right? Like I'm watching some things, I'm starting to wonder.
I hope so.
I'm on candid camera or something. You were commentating, so you saw some of the shit that was going on in
That's
the last hour.
12,000.
You're like, why wasn't I in that game?
I can't be. I can never be.
It's Richard the Great, you know.
I man. I just never ever make anything.
And the 12,000 bet, this is about pot size. Whether or not Wheatley would fold for an all-in, Channing certainly can't expect him to. I mean,
I just don't see Neil making that kind of move.
No.
I think that's another thing that's important about Wheatley is he's totally impervious to these tactics from Neil.
yeah, he set his stall out here. You aren't pushing me around. And fair enough.
I wish I was in
Well played.
Yeah, well, he walked through the door and you said, don't know much about this guy, not seen him play much, but he's been worth the value so far.
He's got a heart bigger than a grandfather clock, that's for sure.
Ace queen? Ace tennis spade?
I know it's got to be the pot.
Small blinds.
First pot.
Oh, he's got my first pot. Oh, thanks.
It could be a part of that.
You made history, Phil.
I mean, that's the difficulty as well with Sammy's departure, is that Sammy was a player that you knew you could get involved in a big pot, a big one-off pot that could bring you right back in the game. I don't think anybody here is going to play that way.
Well, I'm guessing that none of these guys know anything about Josh Ladines.
To 11.
And
50.
Laak is putting him to the test right away. He's got the 7 deuce. Well done.
Here we go. See, and Phil told me before the game that he wasn't going to get involved in these silly games. Before the deuce 7 game was introduced, he said, I'm not going to let the party pot sway me. I'm not going to put big chips into these silly games, and here he is.
Oh, you 50.
Come on, small enough. You got 20, 30.
No problem. Thank you.
Correct,
Cool.
correct. The math
I've got
is
no change in
compelling.
mine. Can you change that for me?
Yeah, I'll give you change.
Josh was saying that he was pretty excited. I mean, Phil's kind of one of the guys he's looked up to, seen on TV, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he's not played in this kind of format here on TV before, and he's, you know.
What's he got? I wonder what he's got. Has he got any game?
Yeah, I think he's going to bring something to this. I think he plans to come here and play. I don't think he's going to come here and sit back. I think he's going to enjoy the opportunity to go up against a player he clearly has some admiration for.
1,500.
Well, this is the first barrier, the first pain threshold.
Press.
Bring it, baby.
He's going to show.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you get 200 from everybody?
I need to see the evidence. 200.
I forgot about that.
Oh, welcome to the table, Josh.
I know it seems unfair. I'm sorry I had to do it because they're doing it to me too.
200.
I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Wheatley, I think, is he ahead more than Williamson was? He's near enough.
Not quite, but it's pretty close. There's not a lot in that now.
Laak up a 30 ball, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of losers there. Channing buried.
Yeah, that's a real hole. It's, you know, he can come back for that. We've seen what happened with Robert earlier on.
Who'll be getting a limo home and who'll be hitching a ride? We're back after the break. Welcome back. I'm here with Matt Broughton, and we're on a long haul here at the Poker Den. And the game has all of a sudden it's like this hush on the crowd. It's the hush of serious gambling, isn't it?
Yeah, I think everyone's, realised they really need to focus here. They need to really work hard to make any money out of this situation. Andrew's heading to the horizontal again.
Goes to 325.
He's wilting.
Plus.
Yes. His chin is permanently below the table.
Oh, here's Josh's opportunity to play back at Phil. Phil caught him with a 7-deuce. And now Josh is going to join in.
Yeah, I like this too because he hasn't re-raised. He's just flat called. I mean, this is a whole new way to play it. I mean, I don't think Josh has ever played the 7-deuce game before. So
no.
Usually you do make the big re-raise, just try and win it right there. But you gotta like.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to go broke playing the 7-deuce game. I think he'll see if he can improve. Still don't know if he's going to put too many more chips in there.
Check.
I wonder. Josh is theoretically on the button here.
Bets 900.
Good for you.
Go on, son.
I hope this works.
Go on, son.
Roberto's been pretty tight so far. I mean, there's not much point to calling here. It's if you fancy it, well, you got to bet it.
Right. I mean, if he would have spent that 900 much better. Right. If he planned on putting that money in, he would have been better off betting.
Absolutely. You know that he's bound to come out firing because if you're going to fire on a 7-3 king, well then you know, to give it up, if you start checking here, well, you're handing the keys over.
Yeah, maybe Josh could shut it down here. He does have a 7. Let's see what this kid's got. What's he?
I mean, I don't think the jack is necessarily a scare card for you.
No, he can't really. I mean, he's 22 years old. He can't really look himself in the mirror in the morning if he bets the flop and checks the turn. I mean, he's on TV for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to fire at least 2 barrels.
I mean, we know he's only in it because of the 7-deuce game, but even if the 7-deuce game wasn't in effect and that was just the way things had come, this is an opportunity for him to win a pot. You know, he took the lead in the hand. He's become the aggressor, and Roberto clearly isn't that comfortable because you can tell from his manner.
Cool. 50. Check.
This is a real test for Josh. I hope he can come through with this because I think it will work.
I know this is something that Roland has talked about a lot. He's like, people often make the mistake of thinking they have enough to check when really they need to make that last bet. And I mean, that's exactly what Josh has. 7s, as it turns out, are not enough to check.
44.
Yeah, go on.
Good man.
Here's the kid. Here's the kid.
I think he's going to get some serious kudos if he can pull this off and show the 7-deuce.
Well, of course, he's going to show it. I mean, that's the funny thing is, if Roberto folds, he's going to see it.
And this isn't what Roberto needs right now. He needs a bit of a G up to get into this. I think there's Andrew dropping off. Yeah, I think Andrew's falling asleep.
Oh yeah, he's gone. Oh yeah,
let's just humiliate him by staring at him for a while.
They'll wake him up to tell him he owes 200. That's what they're going to
do. That's not the nicest thing to get woken up for.
Does it feel like a bet size is too big?
That 7-deuce just plays in your head, doesn't it?
Wow. Wow, that's...
I mean, he just looks uncomfortable. Did
you hear what he said? He says, I think about you have a 7-deuce.
Yeah.
How much was it? 44, was it?
Yep.
Well, that's...
Good call.
Did he put it in?
Hmm?
You got it.
He thinks he called it. or is he playing with him?
Wow.
Oh, I think maybe Josh tripped up there, unless that was deliberate.
No, of course it was.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. What a move!
Oh, I take it back.
He's a good call. Go ahead. He's a good call.
Puzzles, man. What am I beating? Is that 7 deuce just does my nut?
Come on, Phil. Phil, get away from the cards.
Can't help himself.
You know, degenerate.
I'm sick. Good call.
I'm not beating much.
So funny, that's the first hand everyone puts anyone on in a
Yeah.
pocket. 7-2.
I'm so terrified to play the game.
Wasn't it your idea?
I think Josh should.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think he needs to shut up shop now, because I think he's done enough.
He saved us all $200.
Wow!
What took you so long? No.
I just kept thinking 7 deuce. He's played it different from the start when he's flat call. It got in my mind. I am, as everyone knows, a big tournament player. But I gotta admit, I do love a cash game, and this is very exciting, and it's just a good buzz, you know. I do tend to, when I play a cash game, be very, very loose, because I think when I'm playing tournaments around the world, it's just you're trying to play your A game, and you're not playing many hands, and you don't get much action until you get really into the business end of things. Maybe I play a few hands that I wouldn't play in a tournament and see if it can pay off for me, because that's what happens in cash games, you know. It's the tricky little hands that get you big pots.
I have pocket sevens, I can have pocket threes or whatever.
From
when the hand started, I thought you had 7 deuce.
I'm normally gonna try and take it down pre-flop.
Yeah, because it's happened twice that way, and then you thought you were gonna mix it up and play it different.
Raise to 225.
It's quite a hand, isn't it? You've got so many ways of playing. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, you can represent.
I can just hear what the commentator is saying. Oh, he's got 7-2 here.
It's been a while since they had the last party pot, hasn't it?
Yeah, it must be about time for one of those.
God.
Press the button, Jesse.
Josh doesn't bother with that shit. He's got a king,
Alex.
probably king, queen.
Raise to
You're
800.
wasting your money.
Almost forgot about Alex.
Yeah.
775.
Don't forget about Alex.
I was gonna play this hand as well.
He's not getting much in the way of cards, but he is trying to create some action for himself, but just so far his timing has been off.
You know, you say that, but he doesn't really need that much in the way of cards. I mean, sometimes cards just get in your way.
Of course you were. Moving everything in.
Oh, I thought about it. And then I changed my mind. You want me to? You were going. I checked you.
Check.
I feel for him. I mean, you know, sometimes you just can't get it to work, can you?
Sometimes you just can't get your head out of the door. People keep slamming it.
And you can see, you know exactly what his face is going to look like by the river when he makes some sheepish call and finds out he was right. He was behind.
1200.
Yep, here comes the third.
Cool.
She's asking about your
Okay, do it for me, please.
She's asking about your
1200.
If it's any
10
consolation,
would
you're
be
the sentimental favorite.
ridiculous. The poor kid.
Oh,
I feel really bad for him right now.
He's just in the wrong seat, isn't he? It's just sometimes it just goes this way for a long spell. Really tests your resolve. And you know he's going to do nothing wrong, and he's still going to lose a huge pot here. And Neil's starting to work the magic again.
Take the bet.
But sometimes it messes with him.
It's 3050.
Scandinavian.
I told you he was never gonna fucking check. He's from Sweden.
Swedish, not Norwegian.
I mean, this is kind of harsh on Alex, really. He's being put under the microscope. But
understanding fold equity.
Kind of cruel, really.
I'm so enjoying myself this night.
Relays. Puts you all in.
Oh, what did I do?
He's re-raised, which means it puts him all in.
Even if he thinks he's beat, can he fold? I mean...
And well, there's the face I feared we would see at some point during this hand where Alex is kind of going, oh, not again.
I like it.
I did bet to call an all in, but
Now he's not so sure.
I maybe shouldn't have.
Do like this.
Cool thinker.
Sammy's hand.
He's actually thinking about this.
Yeah.
Probably not.
7-2 with the 7 of clubs or something.
I think we've missed the opportunity to see him play some really good poker just because he's been quite unfortunate.
I don't think it's over yet. Well,
I have a good hand actually.
Do you?
I did bet to call an all in, but
You meant to?
I think it was a mistake though.
Depends what you got.
Words of wisdom.
First mistake was coming in. Second mistake not there.
I think I played the hand really well, actually. I'm quite pleased with myself.
Oh.
you know,
I can't wait to watch it on TV.
I mean, Alexander's showing a lot of poise right now by actually thinking about full. I feel like, I mean, you know, most people would have just tilted it in already.
Yeah, I think I have to call this. You might have worse than me. I have a 10. I do have a 10. Yeah, crap.
Because
Oh, Neil.
I really wanted to check behind,
You know
but
what I
I just
folded,
got
Neil?
too tired. I can't draw out.
Well, the jack. There is a
7-8 of clubs.
there is a jack for a
I
split.
think you might re-raise.
you folded 7-8 of clubs?
7-8 of clubs.
You folded 7-8 of
We play
clubs?
the internet because I think you might re-raise.
Jesus,
Re-raise.
that would have been really sick.
It's not lying, he did.
7-8 of clubs. Wow.
Nice hand. I figured
See a 10 for a chop.
you never have a flush. I mean,
Jack is a chop.
No, I'm not going to do that with a flush. I
5
can't.
10s.
nice hand. Nice hand. Well played.
That's so gross.
It was. I didn't have to lose everything there.
Don't get
Nice
up and
hand.
go.
Yeah, I have to
There you go.
sleep. I'm falling
I was
asleep
playing
here.
with you.
You felt it and he's going home. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Nice hand.
I'm on tilt.
He's a classy guy.
Yeah, I think so. It would be good to see him again sometime because I think, you know, in a different scenario, we'd see some real fireworks out of him.
Alexander.
New player Matt filling Alexander's seat. Knock at the door.
Yep, another Stockholm denizen.
Who would have thought? Another 22-year-old Swede.
Oh, they're everywhere, aren't they? You can't move.
What a coincidence.
Just tripping over them in the green room everywhere you go. 22-year-old Swedes.
This is Joel Norkvist from Stockholm. And
God, don't. It's too early.
he's coming in with his 20K.
Yeah, into the seat of death. Let's see if we can get this seat back into a positive situation.
There's a pervert, yeah. Yeah, he thinks he's in charge. Cool.
Josh with a little bit of a top up. Rebuy back up to 30, and he seems to have bought enough. He is not perturbed, is he, by being stuck 10,000?
No, I think he's used to much more than that.
I'll wait till the next.
I can only collect 3. But
You know, I'd like to pay,
It's an unusual opportunity to get to
Andrew Feldman a compliment, because right now he's playing exactly like Roland Wolfe. Roland Wolfe is actually 3 feet away from us, asleep on a couch. But Andrew is playing Roland Wolfe's game.
Yeah.
What is it?
feel free to wave 4 hands.
How did you know? We were due.
What's the score about? I don't understand. What is it?
What is the situation? It's the next one, Richard. It's not this one.
What's the situation with that?
Let's see.
What's the situation with this? What are you on about?
What, this? We just settle for an extra 1,000 into the 3,000 goes into the pot at the beginning.
Party poker put it in.
Party poker put 1,000 chip.
Everyone?
Every time we have that. There's at least one an hour. It's just random, but there's at least one an hour.
With the we win extra money. We win extra money.
Overall tonight, a lot of players sort of A lot of players who just kind of sort of slow play the ace-king, don't mind peeling off flops, not wanting to get too involved before the flop. But Smitty going for the re-raise, and you could see these guys stacking off here. I guess it'll be up to Wheatley right now.
Yeah, well, you know, Smitty's facing being out of position here, so I think, you know, the raise here, it helps him define Wheatley's hand a bit more so that he can decide exactly what he wants to do. Because if he gets any interest out of Wheatley here, then if he doesn't connect with the ace-king, it's a lot easier for him to let it go because he can just give Wheatley so much more credit.
15 more. Yep.
Yeah, I can see Wheatley going for this.
The funny thing is all three are mine, but...
We've seen queens against ace-king, oh geez, overall, I think 3 or 4 times tonight. And this will be the first time it gets stacked off pre-flop.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like Channing versus Feldman. They played a cheap flop. It was the Wolfe.
He said raise. So put the minimum raise out there and then decide.
But he didn't say what he raised by.
Okay. That's an option to call. He's got to raise the minimum, which he made it 550. It's 2,300. He has to make it 1,750.
Smitty's taking over as tournament director.
Double the bet.
He is doubling the bet.
Well, the rules could be different here as far as like what they have to double.
You can raise up inside, you can raise what you want.
Just to clarify, I mean, what's happened here,
It doesn't have to be the minimum
Matt,
raise.
is Wheatley announced raise, and then Smitty just shoved the chips in. So his chips have to play. The fact is Wheatley didn't say how much he was raising.
Exactly. So if Wheatley actually wanted to get away from this now, he can just put in the minimum raise, and then if he doesn't like the way things go, if Smitty, you know, obviously Smitty's going to push back. I don't think Wheatley would make any other decision anyway.
Unless you say that this is just going to end up with all the money and end the race, but
yeah,
he wants to find out how much it is.
That's fine. 4? No, he's already. That's his.
I mean, I don't think Smitty did it to try and gain any advantage. It's
no,
you can bring that in. Just got a little enthusiastic.
Okay. Yeah. Bring it into the middle. Know where we are.
He's passed.
Fold?
Fold. He's folded.
Let's see what the flop would have been.
I guess Wheatley was feeling like, you know, he was pretty sure he was up against aces or kings, and he would only be, what, 18%?
Very least it's 50%.
I know, but for whatever reason, he just decided, you know what, I don't want to do this race.
3 guys with over 50,000 on this table. We're still searching for that first $100,000
every day. At the Kentucky Derby, his thing.
You really got to ask Jennifer about buying you a nice Damon Runyon book and you learning who the fuck Damon Runyon is. I don't even know who Damon Runyon is. It's so ignorant.
I know, it's a shame.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's really carry on with your story.
So, he runs out of money, and I say, well, that's not a problem, because I'm getting sick. I'm at this derby thing, and I'm finding out that the house is taking 22% on every bet or whatever the gross run. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, there's no poker game, there's no anything.
Cool.
So you lay him his bets now?
So I say, hey, if you want, you can just, any bet you bet with me up to, like, it started at 2, but by the 4th race steeple's like up to 5.
Wow. Well, it's been a while since we've seen a pocket pair actually connect. But of course, that's not the worst flop in the world for Norkvist either.
Some of them looked drugged, they'd look up in the stand. It was like, it looked like
550.
I couldn't believe some of these horses were.
Interesting to see now if Josh decides to do anything other than get aggressive with this.
So I got confident. I was like, okay, you can go 5K.
Well, the only thing he feels like he can really get action from, I'm guessing, is the over pair.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people love their 7/8s. Obviously, there's the flush there. So I think there are enough hands you could put him on that demand a raise here.
I don't know anything about races except I know what 42-1 feels like when you lose it. This thing starts running. I'm like, it is
1,100 more. This is about triple the bet. It's exactly triple the bet.
Yeah.
Question time for Norkvist.
Having watched Josh playing online a bit, that's kind of pretty much what I would expect from him. Kind of an auto move.
Norkvist probably a little bit too deep to just sort of make a re-raise and shove all in at this stage.
Yeah, and you know, probably aware that could go badly for him. Well,
I feel a little bad for Norkvist, but it is the first real bright spot that Josh has had all day, and he's making the most of it.
Jennifer's won by like half a nose. It was so sick.
It's a dangerous, messy kind of board. It's a horrible looking thing. And if you get it wrong, you're going to get it really wrong.
Bets off. If I went to the Derby again, I would maybe 1,000 max or something. I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, this is a tough decision.
It was really sick.
Good for him. I mean, I think
6,000.
I think that's a situation where you fold or you raise. I don't think calling is going to achieve much there. And I think his chips are better spent here to find out really where he is against his opponent than spending chips just calling.
Thing is, I mean, the most likely hand for Ladine to put
Yeah.
Norkvist on is an overpair, isn't it? You know, like a big pair, isn't that? Or is that?
I don't know. I mean, I never know here whether you're better to raise while your opponent still has a card to come and can dream for a miracle, whatever his praying his miracle is. The way he's played is the best way because it makes him look consistent. Because you see some players play it and then they hit the monster and then they start getting a bit sneaky, and I think he's played it the best way he could.
It'll be a brave check on. I mean, not brave exactly, but you know.
Well, I guess if you're trying to, he's trying to put Joel on a hand and work out what hand might he have that would be interested, but I think that's the best move. I mean, it's very hard to find a hand and work out a value bet for Joel there, so I think the best thing to do is actually try and sow the seeds into his head that you were chasing a draw all along and missed it. I don't know how he gets paid off here. No.
We're doing the show all bluffs thing.
By the way, everyone knows we're playing deuce 7, right? You win with deuce 7 offsuit.
I don't think Josh needs reminding of the deuce 7.
That pot got him even, and don't he look pleased?
Right, he didn't want to clutch it.
It was also the changing room.
He's done well there.
We had to wait till
Yeah.
everyone else went off to do their
As you said, that seat 8 has been just a death trap. But
and then we'd quickly go back before the end of the leg. It was great.
I know what happened, but the way the pot was played, it was a bit
Raised to 400.
What was the guy mature saying?
I introduced Holdem actually to our school. I read about it in Al Alvarez's
Big
book,
pot.
and they didn't really say what the rules were in the book, but we kind of worked it out.
Which is the equivalent of...
Jeez, I think the drowsiness is catching Smitty. Just like a magnet.
Yeah.
Smitty and Feldman, their heads are going to be attached soon.
Yeah, he went from Smitty went from being hyper and kind of impatient to actually comatose. Slightly harsh, but
I check.
I think if you took a protractor to every one of these players here, it's like 45 degrees, 36 degrees, and then like Channing and Laak are like 90.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's dangerous for Smitty.
Brilliant.
Some bet in the dark like I did.
No, I saw it. Chris was going to bet like 800 or something. I go, yeah, all you can eat, baby.
Cool.
All you can eat, baby.
And Andrew's nearly under the table.
I'll probably get it in on the room.
Geez, Channing's got 3 6s here.
Have you only just noticed that, Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus, that's awful. Well, that's a really bad card for me.
That's 2.
I was definitely winning before that last card. Now we're probably just chopping it. It's so frustrating. I might leave after this. Yeah, it's a certain chop.
I'm all in.
You raised all in.
Why has he done that? I knew that was a bad card. That really was a bad card, actually. I wasn't lying.
Not in America, but here
It's like 12,000 more. That's what it is.
That's such a good call. So good.
Smitty caught a 2-outer there, and
resonate with what is
you know he couldn't even get paid.
I think that was going into my brain.
To defend against. Like there was a little
I think Feldman should come back with a cardboard box and just kind of set it up there in the chair, because I think the box is.
Right that moment on that particular.
I got the box is just.
No, that was always like,
at this stage, I think it's got a better table image.
Well, at least it would stay upright.
Some of the guys probably did, but this guy didn't.
Me, don't worry. Can you change that? 4.
Oh,
25.
Oh, yeah, no problem. There you go.
Oh, I had.
Why do I never get dealt 7 deuce from a game? Never, ever.
It's a bad beat. Because you might hurt yourself.
That's true. It saves me a lot of money, actually. See, we were too clever. We limped in
Check.
with the intention of raising, and nobody fell for it.
Channing limp with the big blind with the live straddle. And this a bit of trouble for Josh Ladines.
It's a quarter game, never see again. 12 pounds.
I think he's going to cry about it.
Laak's got a piece there as well. He's got the
You get about 10 miles for that record.
middle pair on the back door, flush draw.
Someone else has 2
How much did you pay for that?
Again, I would be surprised if Neil kind of plays this passively, but he's done that quite a lot. That has surprised me.
I mean, there's so many arguments for raising here.
Yeah, I think so. But then again, as I said, there've been lots of situations where I would definitely be wanting to raise and they haven't.
What is that spell?
Ace to 950 tail.
I'm like, you know, Josh has been in this game for a while. He's been watching Neil for even longer than that in the green room. He does recognize that this is unorthodox sort of play from Neil.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and he's got a big hand. You know, this is. There are lots of hands that you're dominating that could be making that play back at you.
Somebody owned it. You said, look, let's play for that.
You know, the sickest thing for a nit like me is to start and marry myself in this sandwich between potential demon hands.
But you know, calling here is just so weak.
Alright, okay.
I never bothered to put
It really is.
So if I
Yeah, Neil doesn't want to go multi-way on this.
You look after me, yeah?
Yeah,
You're not going to charge me, yeah?
Don't let me affect you.
For
You
friends,
play
for
the way
gift.
you want
Can
to
you
play.
pull on 2 vids
you want,
and if you
yeah.
do that, it will look like so much money,
No,
and
I
I'll
said
be
for
compelled
nothing.
to
It's a
call.
gift.
Because I really want to call, but I need to find like a math
You would have had
supporting
nothing for
moment.
it. I thought you were
Look
giving
at
it
that,
to
it
me.
gets bigger and bigger. Oh, it's only 7 more.
Yeah.
Now
It's
it's
one of those nice
you know,
coloured
I like to
ones
do
with
something.
green and everything in
Only
there.
7.
Nice gentleman and everything.
Lots of
Give me a
nice
good name
gambling
and stuff.
tokens back.
Yeah. It's,
I'm my own book.
see how I compelled myself into it?
What a station he is. That
Oh, really? I feel stuck around for this.
complete station.
I'm pretty bad, huh?
The boys in the 10-20 at the Bellagio told me that.
A couple draws, straight draws.
Oh, wow. What a turn.
Well, it was a kind of a good turn.
Well, that's
4,650.
What have you done now?
Told me how long
I was going to bet the turn.
You know,
How can you just call like that?
feel like
When's the party?
I mean, is
Laak?
Laak-
Hour and a half now.
is Laak trying to make this look like he's got, you know, like a set, you know, flop 2 pair, or
I think.
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to think back through the action to what sort of hand would
You
you
know, this is one of those rare
associate the action that's taking place with what has now connected with that board. Phil's hiding in his hoodie.
I'm so indecisive. I'm just going to call.
650. Cool.
That's probably a really bad mistake. I'm going to get killed for that one easily.
this is a really interesting pot. I
Yeah.
have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on.
And I bet if you ask Phil, he's got a really detailed, long, lengthy explanation for the move.
Well, I mean, like, just think about this. I mean, like, Laak has not given Neil any action. Neil has shown strength. He's called, you know, on the flop, then called a raise. I mean, he looks really strong.
Check.
Oh!
Oh, he's dogged it.
Tough question.
He dogged it. Oh, Neil's going to win this.
Can I get you to answer one question? No, you're not going to. Shall I bother with it? How would you feel about me value betting the river? $6,500.
Bet 6,500.
That's the difference between him and everybody else. Everybody else would have just panicked checked there, just been relieved to be able to show the ace-queen down.
The board paired.
It did, I saw that, yeah. It was, I didn't even know whether I wanted it to.
The board paired.
I'm beginning to like it now.
The last card is a 5 of diamonds, huh?
You're not wrong. We can't really get anything past you, can we?
The board pair.
Well, you didn't have. What does that mean? What did you have then?
4-7 of hearts.
Shit, did you really? Well, what are you thinking about? You haven't got anything, you have 7 high. I don't understand what your hand was. Ace-6 of hearts? Ace-6 of hearts?
6s and 3s on the flop, you can't pick a river.
Maybe. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I had.
Did you? No. You're unlucky.
I don't know.
Good instincts there, I think, from Neil.
No, but I wasn't going to go anywhere. So.
I think you were called absolutely right. A lot of players would have been happy just to check that down, but
you're going to see it later.
As soon as Phil checked him, Neil saw an opportunity.
I'm the worst.
It's on seat 3.
Ain't Richard Wheatley like the cat with the cream? 40K in front and still on track to top Robert Williamson, the third's record. Great couple hours for Phil Laak. He took out Sammy George, and now 31,000 to the good, and Roberto Romanello starting to put the grind with 14,000 ahead. It's enough for Sammy NE2, enough for the night, enough for the week, enough for the year. 78,000 and calling it quits. Roumeliotis, 25,000, and Norkvist gave him the hook. Now 10,000 down himself plus. And Josh Ladines fighting back, but still behind. 24 hours in, 12 more to go. Who's got the nerves and the stamina to stick it out?
Oh, that's a big bet.
No! It's Curry. They both had a queen. You saved us from the deuce 7s.
It's so hard to win. Everyone's trying to do it at the same time. It gets in the way.